So hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about the new chapter of One Piece, chapter 1160. In the previous chapter we found out that Shanks and Shamrock were born on God Valley, and also that Teach was also on God Valley because it was the homeland of rocksdxebec, whose real name we found out that his real name is Davy Clan, and he and Blackbeard are actually the part of a Davy clan. And in this chapter we are also going to get a reveal about the Davy clan. But before the chapter, let me talk about the cover page of the chapter. In the cover page we are seeing Yamato, who is actually standing on top of the mountain which is near the flower capital and where the shrine of Kozuki Odin is, and she is actually looking over the flower capital. But let's talk about the chapter now. We start the chapter where we left our previous chapter, and here we are seeing the announcer of the ceremony. He brings actually some Davy Clan members onto the stage, and they are not less, it is not like only two members of the Davy Clan. Here we see that with Blackbeard and his mother we are seeing 5 to 6 other Davy Clan members. And here we are also shown by the Blackbeard's perspective that how the celestial dragons look to him and how terrified Blackbeard is. And this is most probably to justify how Blackbeard become a villain and for his backstory most probably. And if you actually think about it, here how many Davy Clan members we are seeing, and most probably all of them have a D in their name as well. Here if you see one of the Davy Clan members who is actually a little bigger than others, who is like a giant but not a giant, he is also wearing a straw hat, and that is the reason that I am planning on making another video talking about how Davy Jones and Joy Boy might be the same person. But leaving that aside, if you think about it, in this chapter we have already seen 7 to 8 D clan members in just one chapter. And if you know that in One Piece currently we do not even know that if we will know any of these Davy Clan members name, maybe except for Blackbeard and his mother. And also in One Piece we only know a total number of D clan members being 15 or 16, and only 6 or 7 of them are alive in the current time. So seeing this 7 to 8 Davy Clan members who are also D's is a little interesting for me. So here if you look at Blackbeard's mother's face, you will see that it looks very similar to Nico Robin's face, or maybe her mother's face, Nico Olivia's face. And I have a theory that maybe Blackbeard's mother was a archaeologist just like Nico Robin and Nico Olivia. And maybe that is the reason that Blackbeard, we see that he is very fascinated with archaeology and he likes to learn about the past. So maybe this is the reason for that. But in this panel we are seeing that all the celestial dragons are actually throwing weapons at them and calling them cursed, or they are cursing their lineage and they want to erase their bloodline. And there is one celestial dragon among them who actually asks that if they are also buccaneers. So it is not confirmed or denied that the Davy Clan members are buccaneers or not, so we will have to wait to find out about that as well. But here we do see some Davy Clan members are of different sizes, so maybe some of them are actually buccaneers. In the next panel we are seeing Shanks and Shamrock's mother, who is actually talking to Dragon, and she actually saying Dragon to take care of her children and she does not want to let them get in the hands of Figgle and Garling. And just in the next panel to that we see that Shanks and Shamrock's mother is most probably dead because we see her hand fall and we still did not see her face. But here we see that Dragon says that even though her children and she is a stranger to Dragon is going to save her kids. And Dragon says that if he is not able to save her children, there is no reason for Dragon to be standing here. So here we are seeing the spirit that Dragon is showing, that most of the people join the Marines for. Obviously most of the people join the Marines because they want to be like a hero and save people. But if you see at God Valley what the Marines are actually doing right now is definitely not right. And here we are told by the announcer of this ceremony that there are 150 rare rabbits and 13 super rare rabbits. So I do not know about the 150 rare rabbits, but I think that there might be one of the super rare rabbits might be Kuma, as he is a buccaneer. And so that would mean that here there are actually 12 Davy Clan members. And I think that without Kuma there are 12 Davy Clan members on this island, and it is crazy to knowing about 12 D Clan members in just a single chapter. Obviously we still knew about Blackbeard being a D, but all the others are still actually crazy. And here we see that the hunt has started, and here we see that the points for killing Kuma, who is a super rare rabbit, are 10,000 points. And here we are seeing all the citizens running, and here we are told that if they are able to survive for 3 weeks they will be set free. So if the citizens want to survive, they would have to survive for 3 weeks, and it is going to be very difficult for them, because we see that all the world nobles are ready and they have started killing civilians who are their rabbits. Here we see a family of mother, father and son. Here we see that the celestial dragon, one of them is trying to kill them, and her mother's actually trying to stop the celestial dragon from killing her child, but here we see a gunshot sound, and then we are cut from that panel. And we also see a transponder snail here, so most probably this is going to be like a live stream to Marijua. But here we are seeing all the people are running away and many of them are being killed. And in Marijua we see that all the world nobles are actually enjoying this very much, and they are like announcing the Figureland family is in top, and then the Mar family are following. So they are just taking it like a normal hunting competition. And we know the celestial dragon do not even consider the other humans as humans. And here we are shown Garling, who is killing one civilians one by one. And here we also see some world nobles who are actually betting on it as well, and they are betting like on Gunko is going to win in solos and the separate family is going to win in the clans. And in the next panel that we are shown Bunko, who is actually killing three people at once by using her arrows. And in the next panel we are seeing Shaki, who is actually most probably with the Marines. And here we are seeing Shaki's face and her reaction, so she is very sad here. And here we see the Marines discussing that how lucky Garling is that Shaki is going to be her wife. So I don't know why, but the Marines are actually more in favor of Garling winning it. And here if we see the Marines, I do not think that they are being shown in a good light, like they are still bad here. But I think that most probably the lower ranking Marines or the normal Marines do not even know what is going on in God Valley, because they are not at the current location of the event. I think that only the top members of the Marines are actually aware of what is happening on God Valley. And in the next panel we see Shane Somers or Shane Shepard, who is actually seeing a kid who has climbed up a tree, and he is trying to kick the tree and make the boy fall down. And when we see that the boy's father is going to catch him because he is falling from the tree, we see that Saint Somers has conjured up his devil fruit and has conjured some vines which we know are thorn vines. And then we are cut from that panel and we are not shown what happens, but obviously they are dead most probably. And this representation of Saint Somers and his understanding of love is definitely like what we saw on Elbaf. He is doing the same thing what he did to the children in Elbaf. In the next panel we see Monkey D. Dragon, who is witnessing that what the world nobles are doing here, and Dragon is seeing how many civilians have been killed here. And if you see Dragon's reaction here, obviously he looks very terrified here, and obviously he should be terrified by seeing all these scenes. And here we see that Dragon thinks that he was going to defy the world nobles just by saving Shanks and Shamrock, and we see that he is actually realizing it, and most probably this is the things that are going to change Dragon's ideology in the future. In the next scene we also see Dragon Superior, who are discussing that where Dragon is and is he meddling with the affairs on God Valley, and that most really means that these Marines are not actually on God Valley. And here if you see Dragon's reaction and the feelings that Dragon is showing here, it is very similar to what we saw that Kobe was feeling in the Marineford War. And we obviously know that after witnessing the war and the killings there, Kobe definitely changed a bit. And I think that a similar kind of thing is going to happen with Dragon here as well. In the next scene we see that a celestial dragon is looking at Kuma, Ginny and Ivankov, where we see that Ivankov is giving her speech, which we are looking at a different perspective from the previous chapter we saw it at. And here we see Dragon, who is actually looking at the celestial dragon, who is actually preparing to shoot Kuma most probably, because Kuma has 10,000 points. And here we see that after maybe before the celestial dragon was going to shoot Kuma, before that Dragon actually shoots the celestial dragon. Obviously these are just tranquilizer bullets, but still he shot a celestial dragon who is now fainted obviously. So here we see like father like son, we see that how Monkey D. Luffy actually punched Saint Charlos on Sabaody to save his friend. Here we are seeing that Dragon actually shoots a celestial dragon to save a buccaneer who is not actually his friend right now, but is going to be his very good friend in the future, Bartholomew Kuma. And before I thought that maybe Dragon would actually change his ideology after witnessing everything on God Valley, but now I think that maybe Dragon could not be a marine after God Valley, because here we see that Dragon shoots a celestial dragon, and I do not think that the marines would let him be in the marines if he did that. And maybe there is a possibility if no one actually noticed that, and then Dragon still stays as a marine, and but after that he actually sees how the marines work, and how they are like just a slave of the world government or maybe the celestial dragons. Maybe after that Dragon actually changes his ideology and forms the revolutionary army. So here Dragon was definitely the MVP of the God Valley incident, because here we see that he is trying to save both Shanks and Shamrock, and we see he also saved Kuma. And because the chapters and the flashback is not over yet, maybe Dragon will also save Teach, or maybe after that we see that Kuma, after he eats his devil fruit, we were told by Ivankov that Kuma actually saved 400 near slaves after eating his devil fruit. So maybe indirectly Kuma saves Teach, and then Dragon is said to be person who saved all of them. And there is a theory about Dragon that maybe when Dragon was trying to save both Shanks and Shamrock, maybe he put Shanks in the chest where Roger Pirates found Shanks in the later, and maybe in that chest there was a devil fruit that Dragon ate. We still don't know if Dragon even has a devil fruit. And maybe after that, putting Shanks in that chest, maybe the Roger Pirates took that chest, or maybe Dragon himself put the chest on Roger Pirates' ship. And maybe when he was trying to save Shamrock as well, he encountered Garling, and obviously Garling is not going to let Dragon take his kids. So maybe Dragon and Garling fought there, and maybe Dragon was defeated by Garling, and then Garling took Shamrock from him. But there is a thing that people are saying that why would Dragon not be killed then? I think that Shamrock would not kill Dragon because his father is Monkey D. Garp. So I think that Garp would definitely try to save his son at least. If he doesn't, then Garp stocks are going much down later. But we will have to wait for that now. In the next panel, we see that the rock sprites have arrived on God Valley, and we have already seen this scene in a previous chapter. And the scene here we are seeing of the rock sprites on top of the ship is most probably before the one that we saw in the previous chapter. By previous chapter I mean the first time we saw God Valley. And here we see Rocks, and he's telling his crewmates that we should not be infighting among each other, and without fighting each other we should actually work together to complete our goals here that we have come here for, most probably because of Shaggy. And Rocks also says that there are treasure and many devil fruits on this island, so we should first steal them, and then we can decide how we are going to distribute these treasures among ourselves. So what we are thinking about the rock sprites crew dynamics being, we do not think that this is true right now. Like here all the rock sprites look like a family as well, because in the next panel to that we see a conversation or a banter between the rock sprites, and here we see that Barbel says that we cannot share Shaggy, and here we also see Shiki who says that Shaggy is going to fall in love with the one who saves her, and Silver Axe agrees to that. And we also see Captain John here who says that Shaggy is going to fall for the one who brings the most treasure for her. And the funniest one is here obviously of Whitebeard, because Whitebeard he says that he is going to save Shaggy as a friend, but he would not complain if Shaggy falls for him. And here we see beside Whitebeard Stussy, who is actually getting angry at Whitebeard because he actually loves Whitebeard. And we also see Gloriosa who is thinking that if she shaves Shaggy, maybe Roger would be happy with her. And beside her we are seeing Stroition, who is actually here. I did not think that Stroition would come to God Valley, who is saying that here we find out that Ochoku has already stayed on the Hachinosu, and Ochoku staying at the pirate island actually makes sense, like how Ochoku took over the pirate island after rock sprites got defeated, and most probably none of the rock sprites knew that Ochoku was a traitor. And here we also see Big Mom, who is saying that even if they are able to save Shaggy, she is not going to fall for them. And beside her we are seeing Kaido, who is actually asking Big Mom if she is going to give the devil fruit to him, because most probably here Lin is going to go and steal the devil fruits now, and Kaido is asking if she is going to give one of the devil fruits to him. And we see that all the rock sprites charge in, and Rock says that to kill all the marines. Here we are also shown the celestial dragons, who are panicking a lot because obviously the pirates are here and the rock sprites have come to God Valley as well. And here we are told that the west coast of this island is a danger zone now. Here we also are told that the Roger Pirates have also arrived on God Valley, and because of this Dragon is able to get past the marines. So here we see that because of the distraction caused after the arrival of Rocks and the Roger pirates, we see that Dragon is able to get past the Marines and he is able to take Shanks and Shamrock with him. And here we see that Dragon is actually shocked by seeing Shanks and Shamrock and that they are not even crying after seeing all this as well. After that we see both the Rocks pirates and the Roger pirates have arrived on God Valley. After the Rocks pirates we see a panel of Roger pirates together, and here we see all the Roger pirates are charging at God Valley. And here Roger tells his crew that he is going to save Shaggy and everyone else should focus on taking the treasure, but here we see that all the Roger pirates crush Roger and move ahead. And they crush Roger because every one of them actually wants to save Shaggy as well. And this was a very funny scene, but after that we see Garling, who is actually sad that the competition has to be stopped. And in the panel next to that we see all the Knights of Gods have assembled, and the people who we were calling Gods Knights or Holy Knights have officially been named Knights of God. And here we are shown a panel of them, and here we can see Garling and Saint Summers and also the girl from the Merman family. And here we also see some Holy Knights that we have already seen before once, like the girl and the man with horn masks. And here we are also seeing two new ones, and one of them looks very similar to Saint Killingham. She is most probably Saint Killingham's mother, and the other one is looking like a giant or a fishman hybrid kind of thing. And in this panel we are not seeing Gunko and also the two other god knights that we are shown, like the person with a gas mask and a other woman with purple hair. And I do have a theory about why the god knights look very different from the celestial dragons, and I am working on that. But in the next panel to that we see that the pirates are here and the Marines are trying to stop them, but they are not able to stop the pirates. And at that moment we see that our own Monkey D. Garp shows up with a meteor fist, who actually blasts all the pirates away with his meteor fist. And here we see that all the both Roger and Rocks actually stop what they are doing, and they see Garp coming to God Valley. We know after the God Valley incident Garp is going to be the hero of the Marines, but still here we see that all the Marines are excited that Vice Admiral Garp is here, obviously because Garp is very strong and he is here to save them all. And the chapter ends here. And I think that this chapter was very good, and we are shown some dark things in this chapter as well. And I would say that Oda giving us 3 chapters in 3 weeks were the best chapters that I have read in a long time. And there is a break next week, but all the scenes that we see of God Valley in this chapter were the scenes that we have already known about before. So most of the scenes were like gap filling scenes here. So after this chapter we do not know what happened on God Valley. Like we know little bit things that happened on God Valley, but not most of the things. So in the next chapter that we see, we will see all the new things that we were never told about in God Valley. And we will also see how Dragon ended up saving Shanks and why he was not able to save Shamrock and what happened with him. But if you like the video, drop down a like, subscribe to my channel and keep theorizing.